The reason why we need this is for a very rare instance. We have sodium in our water. It's very rare to find a natural occurring sodium vein in well water, but we have that here at our office and we've had to deal with it. The beautiful thing about a reverse osmosis system is it will actually strip out and remove the sodium that is present in the water. So today I'm going to be reviewing a SimPure T1400 reverse osmosis filter system. This system gets mounted underneath your kitchen sink. It requires a 115 volt source, which most people have a 115 volt source underneath their kitchen sink. It may not be at the sink, it may be hidden behind your dishwasher. In a lot of instances it is. Majority of people are going to have 115 volts present. Now, if you don't, they also sell RO systems that do not require a 115 volt source. Because this one has a booster pump built in, it requires a 115 volt source. The benefit of this unit is it can produce 400 gallons per day. Now, if we talk about a system, if we talk about an RO system that goes underneath your kitchen sink, that doesn't have a booster pump, it's gonna work off of your typical water pressure, which is 50 to 60 PSI, and it's gonna require a storage tank. So this storage tank is massive. Between the 3 or 4 membrane filters that you're gonna put underneath your kitchen sink, and this, you're not gonna have any room left. So the beauty of the SimPure T1400 is that it takes up far less room, and where a tanked version can only produce 35 to 50 gallons per day, this unit can produce 400. So in my opinion, it's far better off. You just open up underneath your kitchen cabinet, see if you got an outlet, pull out your dishwasher, see if there's an outlet behind it. As long as you have a source of power, and you're gonna have a source of water at your kitchen sink. So next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna give you a little quick overview of the unit, and then we're gonna start the installation process. So when you purchase this unit online, it comes with this water spout, which is absolutely beautiful if I do say so myself. This is the mounting hardware that goes underneath. It's gonna squeeze it. Whether you have a granite countertop or whether you have a stainless steel sink, regardless, it doesn't matter. The instructions teach you and explain to you how to install it if you have a stainless steel sink. If you have a granite countertop, you're actually gonna have to contact a granite company and have them drill a hole for you to mount it. So this reverse osmosis membrane right here is gonna have to have water discharge from it. Now, the way that this system works is water comes in from this side. First it flows through the PP melt brown sediment filter. Then it's gonna flow through this CTO filter, which is activated carbon block. And then we come over here. When it leaves this filter, what it ends up doing, it flows through some of the apparatus that's up here on top of it, flows through the pump. The pump boosts the pressure. It makes it high enough pressure to force it through the membrane of these filter units here. This is your reverse osmosis membrane. This is also going to have the wastewater outlet, which is over here. So your red hose will end up connecting to this. And then this unit here, which is going to clamp over your drain pipe, that's going to be the wastewater side of things. But we'll get to that during the installation process. Now, once it flows through this is the last, this is your post-carbon filter. When it exits this, it's going to be exiting here, which is your labeled pure water. And that's where you're going to hook up your, I guess, your blue line. And the blue line will end up feeding to the bottom of this unit, which will be present now at your kitchen faucet. So if we come over here and take a look, like, just ignore the mess. But if we come over here and take a look, we've already made provisions for our water spout here, because we already knew we needed an RO system. Here at our office, we have sodium in our water, and it's unfortunate, but we have to deal with it. So the reverse osmosis is great. If you have a problem with chlorine or sodium or hard water, whatever it is, get you an RO system. RO systems are great. We're gonna put this thing to the test here in a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and open up our cabinet door. And we're going to look. We're going to say, okay, do we have more room on this side or do we have more room on this side? In my opinion, we have more room on this side. So this is where we're going to go ahead and mount the filter. And we don't want to let this rest on the bottom like this, because eventually in the future we're going to have to change these out. And these things change out very, very simply. So let me show you. So basically you just twist and pull, and it comes off easy as that. These are just really quick twist lock, and they are sealed by the dual O-ring here, which is great. So simply you can order these back online from SimPure. You just push it in and turn, and it clicks and locks. So there you go. So you at least need to leave you about 2 to 3 inches below it where you can get the unit and replace these things. So what we're going to do, we're going to elevate it up to about right here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get a marker, I'm going to mark, and we're going to mount this thing. Now we're going to take our unit, and we're going to slide it in and lift it up and put it on the mounting screws. Just like that. Bingo! So because we need access to 115 volts, we're going to take our dishwasher here and we'll slide it out. So when it comes to installing your hoses, they've made it very simple. You just follow the color coordination. So this side over here is going to be white, and back here is going to be your blue and your red. So what they call this, like a banjo fitting. This is just a plastic banjo fitting. And the way this is going to do, it's going to wrap around that. We're going to take a drill and we're going to have to drill a hole in this. We don't want to drill a hole in the bottom because that presents a spot to leak. We don't want to put it on the bottom side of the P-trap because this area can hold water. If you look at the drain system here, basically anything from here up is good. So we're going to want to take this and mount it in this line right here. This right here is what they provide in order to seal around the drain. So we're going to take this and we're going to stick that right like that. Okay. Now that's all on your double-sided tape so it sticks, and that's going to provide a seal. So now that we have finished mounting our banjo fitting for the drain, I wanted to show you that the hole was lined up. Now, easy way to figure out how to line the hole up. So here, referring to the instructions, we look at our spout, and on the bottom it says faucet adapter, inline 1/4 inch tubing. So that's what this inline is for. It's going to adapt to the bottom of the spout, and then the 1/4 inch tubing is going to slip into the inline adapter. We want to make sure that the end of the pipe is nice and smooth with no burrs. So we're going to use a pair of pipe cutters and we're going to cut a fresh end on that. Alright, so now it comes time to go ahead and we're going to mount our spout. So we have our stainless steel piece here, our decorative ring that's going to basically block the hole that was cut. We're going to figure out which way we want our spout, so that goes down like that. I think that looks good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to go underneath, I'm going to put on the rubber washer, and I'm going to put on the nut. So our last and final step is to take our red drain line, which is right here, and we want to find a nice way to route it. I think that'll be a good way to route it. We don't need all this line, so we're going to take our PVC cutters and we're going to cut it. Make sure our end looks good, no burrs. Now we're going to push it in, make sure it locks, give it a pull. Okay, now the drain line's done, and we're basically ready to hook up the line back to the dishwasher. Alright, that's on. Okay, Now we're basically ready to turn the water on and give the system a try. So now we're gonna plug it in. Yay, it works. Okay. So now we got the valve on. We've got water flowing through the unit. I can hear it. It's made its way to this filter now. I'm just kind of waiting to see if it's going to come out of this spout. You can see the pressure. Here it comes. It's spitting. There we are. Now in the instructions it says to let this run for 10 to 15, 20 minutes. Basically it's flushing any of the carbon that's in the filter out. It said your first initial bit of water that you get, you may notice some black specks in it. So let's go ahead and take this little cup here and get a little scoop of it. I don't see any black specks in that. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. All right, now let's go ahead. We're going to turn the faucet off and make sure the pump cuts off. Wow, that was insane pressure. So it takes that much pressure in order to push the water through the RO membrane. That's what that pump does. But that's why it's also capable of providing 400 gallons per day, whereas the tank systems only use 60 psi and they can only provide you with 35 to 50 gallons per day. All right, now we've got this thing installed. Let's go ahead and perform a water test. Now, per the instructions, it says to allow the system to purge the filters for 20 minutes. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to purge the system for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to do a water test. We're going to compare water straight out of the tap versus water straight out of the RO, and then compare it to bottled water. Now, what this is here, this is a TDS meter, total dissolved solids. In layman's terms, it's the junk that's floating in your water that you cannot see. So, because our shop, it has sodium in the water, which is terrible. It has a high TDS. It has a high parts per million, ppm. When we originally had it tested, it was somewhere in the 500s. Now this filter is actually supposed to be able to filter out 500 all the way down. If we can get anything below 50, we're doing really good. But what we want to do, we want to use bottled water as comparison, because we all know that bottled water, on the back in the instructions, or on the description in the back, it says purified by reverse osmosis. So let's go ahead. We've got 3 cups here. We've got one labeled sink, we've got one labeled bottled water, and we've got one labeled RO. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to fill up our sink. Let that run for a second. All right, so we got our sink water. Now we're going to get our RO water. All right, we've got our RO water. Now, listen, I want to make sure everybody knows it's a brand new bottle. Okay, we're going to rinse it out, and then we're going to fill it up with bottled water. Now, the TDS meter is going to tell us everything that we want to know. All right, I'm trying to get my camera close enough to where we can all see the numbers on the meter. So now I am fully submerged in the bottled water. And that is registering a phenomenal 001. So that is bottled water. Now we're going to move that out of the way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to test the water straight from the well, and the only thing it flows through is a regular old sediment filter. We're going to shake it around a little bit. Not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Okay. 244. 250. Not bad. 250. Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to clean it out. We don't get no contaminants. All right, so we're back to 001. We're going to move that out of the way, and now we're going to try the RO system. Wow. That's amazing. It's 000. Wiggling it around. I am thoroughly impressed. It is all zeros. All right. Let's try this. Turn it back on. Now I want to show you. Oh, let's make sure that you can see this. See? That's the RO cup. Coming over here. I'm going to get some more RO water. Set it back down. Because I know some people will be like, oh, you cut the film. That's not RO water. Do it again. 000. So we'll bring bottled water back into the equation. (001). And we'll bring our sink back into the equation. Should go back up near 250. Probably diluted a little with the other purified water on the element. But theoretically it should climb back up. I'll just move it around a little bit. 247. So yeah, around 250. Okay, well, I would say those test results are pretty conclusive. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off, and let's talk about it. Okay, so first off, I'm absolutely blown away. SimPure's RO system is phenomenal. To get the water down to 0.000 parts per million of TDS. Just awesome. Absolutely awesome. That is what I call bottled water quality straight from your sink. Because it is. It's bottled water quality straight from your sink. You know, you can test your calcium, you can test your iron and all that, but that needs to be treated prior to it reaching the RO system, and it says that in the instructions. But unfortunately, because we have sodium in our water, we can't run it through a softener because the calcium that makes the water hard will not stick to the resin beads inside of a water softener. So, you know, it uses salt to clean it. Well, if the water's already got sodium in it, the calcium's not gonna adhere to the resin bed inside of a water softener. So we are unable to do that. But with an RO system like this, we can do everything. Now granted, yes, it's not high pressure, you can't shower in it, whatever, but there are ways around that. I'm sure they make systems that are big and massive and whole house, but for typical use, and you know, you get rid of all the questions, and I give this a A+, thumbs up. Really, really kick ass. Well, thank y'all for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Now, if you're interested in a SimPure T100 or T1-400 RO system, I highly recommend it. I installed it here at my office. I actually have another one I'm about to install at my home. I might make a video on that as well, and we'll do some before and after water comparison tests there too. But I've actually installed both here. I have a tanked model that we installed 10 years ago, and now we have this tankless model which has the pump on it. Honestly, I prefer the one with the pump on it because it can provide, like, I guess it's like 85% more water. If the other one's like 50 gallons a day and this one's at 400 gallons a day, that's an amazing amount of water with the quality of the TDS drop down to 000. What I plan on doing is taking that feed that's off of that spout, and I'm gonna go tee off of that and run it all the way over to the back of my refrigerator. That way my ice cubes are extremely clean and the water coming out of the refrigerator is extremely clean. And I'm going to be doing that at my house as well, because I have a problem with manganese at my house, and the manganese traps up the carbon filter inside the refrigerator about every 60 days, and that's frustrating. So if I can send RO water to the back of my refrigerator, I don't have any more problems. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do it. That kit can be installed with all the tools you saw me use. Basically used a drill, a screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, and a pair of channel locks. Very simple, very simple. Oh yeah, and my multi-tool pipe cutter that everybody makes fun of me for. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in the SimPure water system, please check out the video, the description below in my video. I will have all the links to SimPure's website, their Amazon affiliate, all that stuff. So if you're interested in it, go check out that link, order you one, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.